I recently decided to start watching Barry, and that was one of the best decisions I've ever made. So I love this show already. It's only 2 seasons in, and they're very short. There's only 30 minutes an episode, and there's 8 episodes in each season, so that totals out to about 8 hours of television with these first 2 seasons, and I already love this show, which is crazy. It usually takes me quite a while to love a show, but by the end of the second season, I was just like, yeah, this show is really clicking for me. So much works, and here's what works. The comedy, the drama, the actors, everything, the writing, it's all fits together so neatly. This show does a great job at mixing both the comedic elements and the dramatic elements, which is a crazy hard thing to do, and they did it really well. This is one of the shows that does it the best, because this show can be really funny, and then it'll just start to play into that drama, which is actually my favorite part about the show, is the dramatic elements and how those storylines play out, because they're really engaging storylines, and they're also really surprising, and they go in ways that you wouldn't expect, but they also make sense based on what's set up that you didn't kind of realize what was being set up, and they just do a really good job at just hooking you right in there. And by the end of the season 1, that last episode, I was like, wow, this show could be something. And then after finishing season 2, it turned out it really was. So I really like the first season. It's like, if I'm just going to give it a rating, it's like an 8.5-star season. But the second season just completely stepped up the game. Everything was funnier. Everything was more engaging. Everything mattered more. They did such a good job of building upon that first season and making everything matter more. And ultimately, what I like about this show the most is not the comedy, but just how engaging those scenes can be. It really does remind me of how much I got wrapped up in Breaking Bad when I watched that show, because that show, just the stuff that's going on and the ways that it's headed, even if you've seen it before, it's engaging and it's intense and it's hard to watch, and this show does that kind of stuff too, which is insane. And also, just the characters are great. We've got the main character, Barry, played by Bill Hader, and this is the best I've ever seen Bill Hader in anything ever, period. I mean, I haven't seen him in much, so that's something, but he's great in this show, and he's great at just playing this guy who kills people, and he just toes that line really well of being the main character and being the protagonist, but also having that really dark side to him, and I really like how well that's handled here. There's also Fuchs, who is so if you don't know what the show's about, then Barry's a hitman, and he starts to realize that he wants to become an actor because of this hit job, and that's the first episode premise. And Fuchs is the guy that's like in charge. He gets the hits and he sends Barry out to do them, and he gets his commission, right? So basically, the actor that plays him does a really good job, and he's he's kind of a funny character, but he's also kind of unlikable, and he just does a good job at kind of just playing that character well. And he's not my favorite character. My favorite character is easily NoHo Hank, played by Anthony Carrigan, if I remember the actor's name correctly, and he does such a fantastic job. He is absolutely hilarious in every single episode that he's in, and I could have a whole show around this guy because he's just that funny. Honestly, every time he shows up, I'm laughing, and he's possibly my favorite aspect of the show, but the drama's so good I might actually put that above him. There's just stuff that works really well in the show, especially in the second season, but right from episode 1, I loved him immediately. I know him from Gotham, and he's great there, but he's even better here. He's so fantastic, and if you've seen Gotham and you're like, oh, maybe I'll watch it because he's in here, then that's a valid reason to. He's fantastic in here. Like I said, I would say he's even better in the show than he's in Gotham. So I highly recommend that. So there's a whole support of characters here. There's Henry Winkler, who plays Mr. Cousineau, and he does a great job at that. His character is very amusing, but also very stingy, and just the way that he'll be having a serious conversation, and then the way it'll turn into deep down what he actually is, and how he's just always about the money. It's just great. He does a great job of that. And there's some other great characters in here too. There's Sally, and that actress does a really good job, and she's a very interesting character, and the direction that she has gone in has been just enjoyable to watch play out. And I really don't want to say too much because I'm not going to give you any spoilers about this show or anything that happens. I just want to tell you why I love this show and why you should watch it. And the reason that you should watch this show is for the great acting, for the great writing, and for NoHo Hank above all else, except for the intense and engaging dramatic writing, which they just do a fantastic job of, and just wrapping you into these storylines without even realizing that, oh, shoot, now I'm super engaged in what's going on, and now I'm going to stay up until 5 in the morning watching this season because I just can't stop. So yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. Overall, I love this show. It's great. It's so engaging. It's so funny. It's got such great actors portraying great characters, and I just find myself just loving this show, and I really can't wait for season 3, and I'm going to give Barry a rating of 9 out of 10. So that is my combined rating for seasons 1 and 2, because I would give season 1 like an 8.5 out of 10, but season 2 is closer to a 9.5. So I'm just averaging it at 9. But now you know basically how I feel about those distinct seasons. Season 2 is notably better than season 1, so that's that. Anyway, that's basically all I have to say about the show. It's fantastic. Please watch it. I hope you love it as much as I do, because this is basically one of my new favorite shows that's airing currently, and I just can't wait for season 3. So anyway, that's basically all I have to say. Now I've got reviews out for lots of shows. Should have Chernobyl, Jessica Jones, Luther, Toy Story 4 review should be out, lots of Doctor Who videos, Game of Thrones videos, Black Mirror videos, if any of that is of your interest. But if not, that's totally fine. I just appreciate your time here today. But anyway, folks, that's gonna do it for now. So thank you for watching, take care, and have a lovely week.